a concert at a middle school at the beginning of the school year, and I sat on the bleachers, no problem, no issues at all. And the last concert of the school year, I just went to go, and they I'm like sitting on the bleachers. I'm like, man, these are really uncomfortable. Like, what's going on? And it's like, don't have all this padding anymore. And I just, for the first time, it was it's like a silly one, but it was a non-scale because I was like, I can I'm so uncomfortable on this bleacher because I don't have all this extra weight and padding on my body. And it was just like this huge, like, whoa, I've actually lost a lot of weight.
You lost your cushion. It's true. It's true. We hear all of like the non-scale not so victories sometimes about like, I remember I was laying in bed on my side because I'm a side sleeper, and like my knees were poking at each other. I was like, what is that? And it's so funny, isn't it? Like how different things just, we just operate in this world in such a different way. How much are you down, Joni?
I am down 48 pounds in just under 5 months.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That is amazing. Okay. So since no one else has raised their Zoom hand, by the way, anyone that's on, want to share some good news, non-scale victory is something. What, besides not having the cushion to sit down on the bleachers, what's like the biggest change in your life? 47 pounds down.
Like feeling confident, like feeling like good in my clothes. Like that was my biggest thing when I came into it. I was just like, I was so uncomfortable in my body, in my clothes, and I constantly felt like people were looking at me and my clothes didn't fit right, and I was just uncomfortable. And now I have this level of comfort and confidence that I have never had as an adult ever in my life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And just doesn't it feel incredible that we can just get up and put some clothes on, feel good in it, and it changes how we operate in this world. It's not just about the clothes, it's about who we are. Right. And how like all day long, I used to like tug at things and, just worry about stuff, and we can just show up in the world in a different way. That's incredible, Joni. Congratulations. Thank you so much for sharing. I love the cushion on the bleachers. Yeah, you just need a little blanket. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Bonnie, come off mute, and I'm going to ask you to unmute, come off mute, and share some good news.
Well, I took myself, this is going along with the self-esteem, topic. On Sunday night, I took the Star Bus all the way from Schenectady to Albany, the Albany Palace Theater, and I saw Bill Maher by myself because nobody wanted to go. And I like my own company, and I would never be able to do that by myself, sitting by myself, finding my seat by myself. You know what I mean? And I have a cane. I'm walking with the cane. So, and thank God, next week I go to the dentist to get teeth. So, but I'm very grateful.
Wow. Wow, Bonnie. So this is not just about like less weight. It's about feeling stronger to do things that you want to do in life.
Exactly. Nobody wanted to go. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to go myself. And then next Friday night, I'm taking myself to see Kevin James. So, you know what? And then I was looking at the schedule at the SPAC Theater. I mean, they have 1 million concerts, which I love. I used to do that all the time before my accident and before, like COVID and everything. So I'm just very grateful. Queen is coming, James Taylor is coming, and I'm looking, I can't really afford expensive tickets, but they have lawn seats that you could sit in. So I may just take myself, because if nobody wants to play with me, not really with me. No, if nobody wants to go, everybody says they don't have money, whatever, I'm going myself.
I love it. The world is your oyster. Thank you so much for sharing, Bonnie. This is just so good. Jennifer, come off mute and share your non-scale victories or your good news.
Hi, so this might be kind of weird actually, but it just made me think of this when she was talking about the bleachers. So today when I was driving home from work and I hit the brakes on the car, I slid forward in my seat.
Sorry.
And I was like, that has never happened to me before. I had my seatbelt on, but I still slid forward in the seat. So I was like, okay.
You take up a lot less space than you used to.
Apparently I do.
I love that. That is so fun. Thank you for sharing, Jennifer. These are amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, Nancy, share some good news. Let me unmute you.
Okay, I think I got it.
Yes.
So a couple of weeks ago, actually, it's probably more like 4 weeks ago, my neighbor was walking outside and I shared this story on Live Right, but my neighbor was walking outside and said, "Hi, how are you? How's your sister doing?" And I said, "Okay, she's doing okay." And I kept thinking, why is she asking about my sister? But okay. So I went on, and then she said, it was just so nice of her to bring over cookies for us at Christmas. And I thought, oh, that's me. That wasn't my sister. That was me. So then a couple of weeks later from that, I actually went over and was able to share with her, it was me. And she said, "What are you doing?" And all this kind of stuff. So I'm hoping for an opportunity to share with her. So
She gave you an opportunity to share with her. We need to get her on a call and see if this is a good fit. That is so exciting, Nancy. You don't even look like the same person. Are you kidding me? How much are you down?
I'm down almost 75.
Wow.
So
Wow. Thank goodness you made that choice. And you don't even look like you did at Christmas, huh?
no, as a matter of fact, I got cookies for a Christmas gift and I just divvied them all out. They were in individual packages and I gave them to 3 different neighbors.
That's success leaves clues. That's exactly what you're supposed to do with that. People give you cookies to make you happy, right? But that's not in alignment with your goals. And so you passed it on. Well done. Well done. That's so awesome. Thank you for sharing, Nancy.
Thanks.
I love it. Norma, come off. Can you come off mute and share your video?
Hold on one second.
Awesome.
I've stopped because we had a SWAT near my house, so I diverted and went shopping for a bit. So I don't know. I'm sitting in a parking lot here at Popeyes.
It's
So I can
okay.
take
What's
this
your
to-
story?
Okay, so my story is that I am gonna finish my 9th week this Sunday. But I was telling Carrie, my coach, that I'm down 23, so I've been really consistent. And even if I eat out, then I know, what portions or just, the greens and the protein of the chicken or whatever type of meat, even with the condiments. And I try to kind of scale it down to make sure that I know that it's either on the side or, making sure that I'm kind of accurate, even though I'm eating out. So I was telling Carrie earlier on my call that, I'm really excited about what I'm doing. My birthday's coming up. I have like 2 birthday parties planned that I'm having for me, that they're giving me, one at work and one with some friends, and then one with my family.
Wow.
So that's all in the month of June. So,
Do they know that you're on plan and you're seeking health goals?
Oh yeah, they do. So not a party. It's just going out to dinner. So
Love it. Love it.
So anyway, so this week I'm leaving on Thursday afternoon. I went back till Monday. So I have a long week. So I was telling Carrie that I'll be packing all my stuff. And, literally I know that I have to be good on this. And then if we eat out, for a graduation celebration or whatever, that if we go to dinner, one day and then we go the next day or whatever we do, eat barbecue or whatever, I know that I have to be careful with my choices. So that was something that was kind of scaring me at first, and then I'm like, but it's okay, I got this, as long as I pack my little bags with everything that I need And like Carrie had told me, maybe pack some stuff extra if I need to do that. But, you know, like I said, I was a little bit frightened at first. But then I was like, you know what? I don't know why I'm scared. I'm doing this and I can do it.
You can, and you're doing all of the right things, including talking to your coach about your plan. Well done. We're going to be talking about that tonight. So thank you so much for sharing. We are going to get started. Give me 1 sec. Good evening. My name is Karen Thorngren, and I'm super excited to welcome you all to Tuesday night Let's Talk. We are going to be talking about, it is close to the end of the May. This weekend is Memorial Day weekend. We're going to be talking about barbecues and summer celebrations and how to set ourselves up for success. But first, Optavia makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with Optavia results from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Your success will depend on how well you exercise these qualities. Please see the Optavia income disclosure statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches. So I have asked a couple of my friends and partners in this mission to come and join us and talk about how they set themselves up for success in their journey. The first person I'm going to ask to talk tonight is Linda Snotterly, and she and her husband Buzz have done such an amazing job, but I'm going to let her tell your story. Linda, come off mute.
Oops, there you go. Am I good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Linda, and I am super excited to tell you guys about my story tonight. It all started with my husband, who was following a friend who is now our coach, Brian, on Facebook, watching him do all of his posts about his weight loss journey. And my husband ended up contacting him and signed up. And he let me know, hey, I signed up for this plan. And I was like, I had no idea what he was even talking about. So until the food came, I'm a pretty picky eater. So it was pretty much like, yeah, this plan probably isn't going to work for me. But when his box came in January of 2022, and we were checking it out, and I was looking at these fuelings going, these don't look so bad. I think I can do this. And one of the best decisions I ever made in my life was jumping on plan with him the next day. I became a client, ordered my own box, and we also became coaches. So along this journey, we had no idea how this program would change our lives. In 25 weeks, we lost a combined total of 120 pounds. I lost 50 pounds and my husband lost 70 pounds. We had many NSVs along the way. I'd say the best one, obviously, besides losing the weight, was the energy that we got. I just thought that as you aged, you just needed to take a nap. So I would have a nap every day, but after I lost my weight, I was feeling so great. We were always just go, 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 and no longer needed that nap. So that was really great. And a little fun story for myself is that I had saved these clothes for myself in my closet that one day I was hoping to fit back into, even moved them from one house to another house, even knowing I couldn't fit in them. And I actually went to try them on, and they were too big. So I was super excited, but I was not going to buy new clothes until I reached my goal weight. So I went into my daughter's room, who was 16 at the time. She was off at school, and I went in and I was trying on her shorts. So I was super excited that her shorts actually fit me. So that was good for me. And then my husband also was pre-diabetic, and he had high blood pressure. So after he had lost his weight, he went into the doctor, and the doctors were just thrilled because due to his weight loss, his numbers were all normal. So that was a really huge NSV for him. Although we did have some struggles at the beginning because we were very social. We like to have people over at our house. We like to go to people's houses. And then also in the summer, we like to spend every weekend out at the lake. So if we found out that if we hosted something, it was super easy to plan a menu for ourselves. So we could so we could be in control of what we ate. But the hard part was going to other people's houses because you never knew what they were going to have. So for us, we found that the easiest way to stay on the 5-in-1 plan and being able to eat with other people was to bring a dish. So I scrolled through our community Facebook page, the recipes there, and I found 4 of them that I absolutely love, which is the taco dip, the spinach dip, the creamy buffalo chicken bake, and then the skinny green chili chicken enchilada dip. And I would bring those with a side of veggies, and people always loved it. But if there was nothing there that we could have on plan, we knew that we had brought something that we could always eat there and enjoy and stay with other people. So that was really great. And then now that I have been in optimal health for 2 years, get my weight off, I am super excited to coach people. I just love coaching people. I just remember how when I first started, how I didn't feel good in my own skin, was uncomfortable taking pictures, and, was always afraid of that picture that people were going to tag you on Facebook, and, and you see it and what it was going to be. So I remember that. And so being able to actually help people feel as great as we do now is just really watching them, transform right in front of my eyes, and watching them be smiley and happy in their skin that they're in. That to me is just priceless, being able to coach them. So that is basically my story and everything. So thank you for letting me share, and back to you, Karen.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Linda. You and Buzz have just rocked this plan, and you're such a model. Years after, these guys are super, super social, but nothing that never lets them, that never holds them back. So anyone can do it. If these guys can do it with all the events and things that they do, anyone can do it. So next, I asked Christine Cruz to share. She also rocked program with her. I didn't realize that both the people that I was asking to talk, both of them, just the couples that are getting healthy together is incredible. But Christine, can you come off mute, and I will do my best.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Yeah, we got.
Yes, I can hear you. I just need a second. Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. This is actually my first time talking on Tuesday Night Talk, but I wanted to share my story. And basically how my story started was my sister-in-law posted. She actually posted a side-by-side, and at that time, life happened, right? And stuff was going on that I actually needed program. My husband he wasn't doing too well health-wise, and so he was barely getting any sleep. So it was a perfect timing. So I was actually seeing her, and to be honest, I wanted to know what she was doing, because she posted a side-by-side that I actually knew this person. And honestly, that drew me. And life happened that I knew we were going to be empty nesters. And I needed the help. I needed help at that time, and it was a perfect timing. So I decided to join. I knew exactly that I was going to join. I needed to do something. I needed to put myself first. It was really hard for me. It was very challenging, and it was challenging because of the fact is that I own an ice cream and dessert shop. My husband is an executive chef. I have double knee replacement, not very active, not at all. So there were a lot of challenges going on, and I was exhausted. It was a lot. It was mentally, physically a lot. And I always liked walking. I liked bike riding, but it was challenging. With this program, I lost 50 pounds in 5 months. And by me putting myself first, I lost this. And not only that, I actually joined for myself, but it was to inspire my husband and to inspire my daughter, because my husband was always unhealthy and he was on medication as long as I can remember. So And he always had this attitude that he was just going to be a big guy, and he's an executive chef, and that's not going to change. But I knew I had to change myself, and this program was absolutely what I needed. Absolutely amazing mindset, physically, emotionally, everything was right here for me. And because of that, my husband jumped on a plan. 7 months later, after actually 5 months, I lost 50 pounds, and 7 months within that, I became a coach. And I signed someone up, and that he knew, and he said he couldn't do that without me coaching him. And so I told him he had to do it for himself, not for me. And when he was ready, that I would be right there. And so I did refuse it the first time. Second time he was ready, and he actually lost 200 pounds combined total. I also, having him inspired, he actually inspired our daughter, Jasmine, and she actually lost almost 70 pounds. And that's what I want to give the gift. I want to give that gift. The gift that my sister-in-law gave me, I gave it to my husband, and my husband gave it to my daughter. And my clients, I love my clients. That's what fuels my soul. This is, I gained more than just losing the weight. I gained the energy. I gained non-scale victories is huge. I mean, I'm biking, I'm hiking, I'm doing Pilates, I went zip lining. I did so much. And what I want to do is I want to give that hope. I want to give that gift to more and more. So if people are thinking about it or hesitant or on this, keep going, because you're going to gain so much more, so much more. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. And y'all, I got the pleasure of meeting these two. I've been working with them for a couple of years, but we got to meet in person finally on the cruise, and to see her and her husband doing things like ziplining and Darwin doing the surfing, yes, and all of the things like that. He was walking around 200 pounds down, just on top of life. This is the gift. This is the gift that we have to give away. So just thank you, ladies, for sharing and representing your stories as well as the stories of your family. But tonight we're going to talk about some challenging stuff, which it's real easy to sit at home and do program. Easier than getting out of our house and going to social events, right? And so what we're going to talk about is how to navigate social events, namely barbecues and summer events, but it can be weddings, it can be vacations, it can be any kind of thing, right? I went to, we are very active with our kids. We're always going to different parties. How do we do this? So we're going to go through some tips. We have a top 10 tips. Number 10 is probably one of the most important things, which is decide. I think quite often we show up to something, we're going to be like, well, let's just see how it goes, right? We're going to see how it goes. We're going to show up and say, well, we'll see what they have. But as Linda was saying, if she wanted to go to someone's house and be on plan, which was her intention, she had to decide to do that. And she had to change her behavior in order to do that. So I encourage you, before you go to anything, make a plan. What is this going to look like? How do I want to feel tomorrow? Spend some time and really visualize. The power of visualization is very important. Who's going to be there? Why are you going? First of all, why do you want to go? Is it about the people or is it about the food? Can I encourage you? Focus on the people. We're invited because we have family members. We have friends. We want to see people. We want to celebrate people. We want to celebrate Memorial Day or 4th of July or whatever it is and have fun. And it's an excuse to see our people. It doesn't have to be about the food. Yes, we need to eat, but we don't have to eat what they're serving. And we're going to talk about that. But spend time and think about, how do you want this to go? How do you want to feel when you come home? How do you want to feel tomorrow morning? Blink if you've ever woken up and regretted some decisions you made last night, right? But that doesn't have to happen. we have the power of choice, but it starts before we show up so that we don't, sometimes we feel like we slipped and fell and ate a pizza. Doesn't happen that way. We get to stop, challenge, and choose everything that goes into our mouth. So we have the power of intention. So I want you to write it down. I'm going to go to this party and I'm going to eat this, or I'm not going to eat this. I'd rather you talk about what you are going to eat, what you are going to do, and then level up your accountability. Text that to your coach. Everyone on here has a coach. So text it to your coach and say, hey, this is my intention. This is what I'm going to do. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to tell you how I did. Another level of accountability. We have multiple levels of accountability, right? We have accountability with our coach. We have accountability with our community. Put it in your client support page. Everybody here is part of a Facebook group. Go put a post in there. Hey guys, I'm really stressed out about going to a Memorial Day barbecue. I'm freaked out about what's going to happen, but this is what my plan is. And I will tell you tomorrow how I do. Just the fact of you putting it out there just greatly increase the chance that you're going to follow through with that decision, right? So the first step is always make a decision. What are you going to do, and have that decision. So another thing that you can do is don't go to someone else's, host your own party. Like Linda was talking about, when you have your own party, you can have a whole smorgasbord of lean and greens, right? You can have I love the buffalo chicken dip. I have that at every party. I bring it to every party. And I will sometimes throw some tortilla chips and that kind of stuff, but I'm going to have a whole lot more peppers and celery than I am going to have tortilla chips. And people like it and they request it. But what's easier is having the entire table full of things that I know fulfill my choices. Okay. That's a really, really powerful thing. You have your food scale. You can break that out. You can be in charge of your own environment and be the example that your friends and family will look towards. If they know that you're on a health journey, y'all, 2/3 of America are obese or overweight. A lot of people are looking to solve this problem. But if they know that you're on a health journey, they're going to be looking to you to see what you're eating. And they're going to take that and they're going to say, oh, maybe I should have the same thing. That's pretty cool. Here's how to host a healthy party. Okay. But if you don't go somewhere else, or if you're not inviting people to your home, make sure you're bringing your own supplies. So I always ask, or I always just do, bring something that you can eat and share. I did a picture of the buffalo chicken dip that I always love, but also as you're planning on bringing stuff, make sure that you're pre-portioning out. So don't just bring, a 4-serving dish and expect that you're going to get a quarter of it. Instead, I will prepare a 4-serving dish or an 8-person dish or something like that. And I will also then take maybe a 1/7 of it, if it's an 8-person dish. Before I bake it, I'll put it in my own little ramekin and I will bake it myself. So I know that I have my own pre-portioned meals. I'm going to weigh and measure out my peppers and my celery so that I know that I have my 3 servings of veggies. And I'm going to show up and then I'm going to put it all on my own plate and I'm going to eat it and know fully confident that I'm eating a complete lean and green and be completely confident in my choices. I also said, bring some fuelings. Y'all, I've been to weddings where there's nothing available on my program. And am I going to sit there and either A, make choices that I'm going to regret tomorrow, or am I going to eat something that I brought in my purse? And may I just add, always have fuelings, have them stashed. I saw something in the client support group today, that was like one of their big suggestions was have them everywhere, have them in your nightstand, in your car. Those crunchers and cereal last forever in your car, even if it's hot. Y'all, last night I had an emergency. I thought I was picking up my kid and 10 minutes later I'd be home, right? And I had meal prepared. I was about to have big old lean and green at home. And I got there and she had gotten in an accident. I ended up riding myself to the ambulance, spent 5 hours in the ER. She's fine. But I was hungry. Thank goodness I had 2 bars that always stay in my purse. I set myself up with success without having any intention of being at the ER for 5 hours. Same kind of thing can happen to a party. If you're having a great time, we all have been to those parties where you think you're going home at 6 o'clock and it's really like 11. What are you going to do when you stay and there's nothing for you to eat? Stash the fuelings in your purse or in your car. And I put it here, drinks too. A lot of times people have like cocktails and different things and all of the stuff, but are you bringing it? I will bring a little cooler full of sparkling ices or ice or tea, because for me, I used to be a drinker. Every day at the end of the night, I would have a glass of wine and I needed a substitute, and that became my substitute. I had a glass of sparkling ice in my wine glass, or in the winter, I always have a cup of tea, and I like to just hold it and it makes me feel good. And I like herbal teas that have a little bit of flavor. That helps me have control. And I know that I'm showing up with what I want, right? So put in the chat what your favorite lean and green to bring to a party is. I know Linda shared some, but I would love for you to share others. Another thing that I use a lot at parties, at weddings, and while I'm cooking, this is my favorite tip for while I'm cooking, is gum. Yes, we're supposed to count it as snacks, but I will tell you, would you rather go over on an approved snack, or would you rather eat everything at the party, right? We got to pick our battles. If we're struggling, you're not going to be throwing food in your mouth if you have gum in there. So I always have gum in my purse as well. It keeps that food out of my mouth. Okay. Parties. Why are they always in the kitchen? Why do we all congregate around the kitchen? I was at a party on Sunday and like the whole kitchen, all of the counters were just full with food. I mean, I cannot stand next to this charcuterie board without doing a little bit of this, right? Like that's too hard. And so what I did on Sunday is we were all in the kitchen and I grabbed myself a sparkling water, and a friend of mine showed up and I was like, hey, there's a whole backyard with all of these different tables set up. Let's go outside. And I started the trend. I was like, I bet if we go out there, people will follow. And they did. And we were able to step away from the food and have less temptations. It is so important to not throw that food in your face. Yes, you need to eat, but it doesn't have to be right there all the time. We talk about the habit of healthy surroundings. That's a part of creating surroundings around you that are really helpful. So stay away from the food. This is a great tip that I definitely learned on one of these Tuesday nights is always have your water or your tea or your sparkling ice or something in your dominant hand. I'm right-handed. So if I'm walking around like this, I'm much less likely to eat. Isn't it interesting? There's some psychology in there. It takes an additional step to move forward with my right hand. I have to move it over. I have to think about it. But if I'm just walking around sipping my tea that tastes yummy, this is hibiscus, one of my favorites right now, changes all the time. Or my bottle of water that has some good electrolytes or something that's 0 calorie, 0 carb. Have something that you can kind of play with, especially if I'm nervous and I want to eat the food. I like to sip and have some stuff in my mouth. Okay. Okay. Here's a really, really important thing. We need to talk about how we're going to talk to people. People love to share food. People love to give food. Someone in the pre-party was talking about all the cookies that they received for Christmas. Do you know why people give out cookies? Because they want to make people happy, right? It's an expression of love. It's an expression of generosity. It's not to be mean. People cook for other people. I sent DoorDash to a friend of mine who's going through breast cancer chemo today. I would cook for her, but I didn't have the time. So I sent her DoorDash because I can't take it away from her, but I can make her life easier. Right? We give love through food. And when you don't eat the food, there's a little bit of a feeling. But I want to do an exercise with you. I want you to say out loud, I can't have that. I can't have that. It's kind of sad. right? It feels like somebody's doing something to me. It feels like someone told me I can't have that. What if instead you said, you know what? I'm rocking my journey. I'm down 30 pounds and I feel amazing. There's no way I'm going to derail myself. Is anyone going to argue with that? Is anyone going to say, no, you really need the cake, right? You need to watch how you're showing up in this world and how you're talking to yourself. Because when you say, I can't have that, you kind of feel sad. You kind of feel like someone is doing something to you. But when you take ownership and you're empowered and you say, I don't want that. And you know why? Because it doesn't serve my goals. Because tomorrow I want to be proud of myself. I want to show up well today and tomorrow and the next day, because I want to create this trust in myself that I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. I don't want that. Thank you so much. No, thank you. Before you go to the next event, look at this stuff in the mirror and create some empowering statements. I don't want that. I'm great. I feel amazing. This is why we ask you to be accountable to your part on your health journey. If you do a post, which I'll talk about at the end, if you do a post on Facebook and say, I'm really proud of myself doing this journey, the chance of someone trying to encourage you to get away from that journey just greatly decreased. You get to show up and you get to ask people in your life for support, which we'll talk about. Okay, next one. Don't have an all or nothing mentality. What this means is, okay, pretend I'm your coach. Do I want you to stick completely to the program? Yeah. Because I know that if you do, you're going to get to your goal a lot faster, and you're going to stay in fat burn. If you did the 5-in-1, you're going to stay in fat burn. You're going to feel really good. You're going to have less cravings, less hunger, all the things, all the benefits of fat burn. But what if you really want the cake? What if you really intend, oh my gosh, I'm going over to Betty's house and she makes amazing cakes. I want to have 3 bites of her cake. I'm going to set the intention to have 3 bites of her cake, because you know what? You're going to read in the life book that studies show that all of the brain synapses that fire about the joy of the cake happen within the first 3 bites. So just have the cake, but don't have an all or nothing mentality. Well, I have the cake, so now I'm going to have the burger, I'm going to have the fries, I'm going to have the pizza, I'm going to have everything, and maybe I'll start on Monday. We get a new choice every 2.5 to 3 hours. We get a new choice every minute. Just do the best you can and move forward, okay? Once I figured out this is not a diet, this is not a yo-yo, on again, off again, I'm not on program, off program, I'm just living a life where I'm making choices, everything became a lot easier. So number 2, ask for support. This is where I'm talking about before you go, talk to the person that's hosting the party. Tell them you're on a program. I'm really excited. I know you make amazing food, but I'm really excited about my health journey. I'm just going to stick to my own food, okay? And this is where I would encourage you to consider referring someone, talking to your friend, coaching. In every little spot of my world, at school, at family events, at different friend groups, I have a client or I have a friend that are all also doing program. And the 2 of us will stand in the corner and be like, okay, how much do you think of this makes up a lean and green? We support each other, right? Or we'll cheers from across the table. We got this, right? Pecan pie comes out. No, we're good. We're good. It takes one buddy in your life to make your world easier. Go check out Element 5 for that. It's about healthy surroundings, and it's so powerful. You start to identify who is helping you and who is not helping you. And the biggest thing is remember your why. This is my why. It's my family. I want to grow old well so I can continue to take care of these people. And when they grow old, I want to take care of their people, right? I'm taking care of my dad. My mother-in-law's in my life and she's growing older. My kids are growing older. I was an older mom. I've got longevity has to be my number 1 priority, but I'm only doing that if I take care of myself. Remember your why and read it before you go. So one last thing. I want you to remind you, we have a Bring On Summer challenge. It is so ridiculously easy. All you got to do is post something on Facebook. I'm down this many pounds. Thanks so much to my coach, and tag your coach for helping me bring on summer. What this does is it puts you out there. I encourage you, do it before this weekend. Do it before May 31st. You'll get entered into the drawing, but do it before this weekend. Do it before your next event, because then it starts the conversation. Someone will say, what are you doing? What is this Bring On Summer thing? How can I support you? Tell me more. Is this okay? People want to see people win. That's why they give the cookies, all the things. They want to help people. They want to show love. If you tell them how to show you love, it'll be easier on both sides. So I hope this helped you. No matter what, talk to your coach, make a plan. You got this. We have all been doing this. No party is not doable. You just have to ask yourself, if I'm going to succeed, how will I? And you and your coach will come up with a great solution. Have a great night. If you are interested in coaching, please hop off a Zoom, come back into the next Zoom, and you can get an idea of what kind of training we offer to our coaches. We would love to have you and talk to you more about that if that's something that you'd like to talk about. So have a great night. We'll see you next week.